Hey folks, Harold over here. This is harvesting our potatoes for the year. If you've been following along here for a while, you've probably seen lots of potato harvest by now. They're usually a crop that does well for us. This clip has us harvesting the one full bed. There is another bed the same size that it was getting dark when we were harvesting that, so I just didn't bother running the camera. Anyway, we got about 245 pounds of potatoes this year. That is a little less than the 320 we got last year from the same amount of space, but we did have a pretty tough growing year with the extreme heat and drought. So overall, I'm very happy with the potato production. And the exciting part is that we finally have a pretty good spot to keep them that we'll show you here in a sec. This is a cool abandoned feature that came with the property when we bought it, and we had never got it fixed up to be a usable hole in the ground, but it is now. So check this out. So this is our potato cellar, at least this year. This was a old defunct well pit when we bought the property. I'll pull out one of the pictures I have of what it looked like the day we purchased the place. How much stuff did you shovel out of here?
Ooh, shoveled out at least 6 feet of dirt out of here.
This is what the same spot looked like the day we purchased the property, and then after Clay first started heaving the biggest chunks of junk out and closing the top just to prevent animals from falling in. Dirt, debris, trash, busted wood, and animal carcasses, because the lid had been long collapsed, so stuff was falling in and dying for years before we bought it. Anyway, Clay had put a nice layer of boards over it to stop that, I think the day after we closed on the property, so nothing could fall in anymore. But this fall you finally got to do what you'd been wanting to do since then. And
for 3 years. Yeah.
I got it all cleaned out, shoveled out, built a nice top with a hatch, and there's a ladder coming down in here. And so we are going to use this to store potatoes this year. So Clay's going to hand them down to me, I guess. This is really exciting to me because when I was a child, we had a similar well pit that we stored all of our parents in, and my grandparents lived next door. They stored their potatoes in it as well, and they always lasted really, really well till spring. So, and especially until we have something finished under the house, since this concrete pit, which was apparently originally there to protect an old well at some point in history that is long not remembered by anyone we can find, is here. It is turned into our root cellar for this year, which is pretty exciting. I can't wait to see how everything keeps until spring.
Can you see?
Yep. Thank you. So it's a little tight down in here, but there's the hatch. Looking back outside, here's the nice stair ladder that Clay built. You can see the old concrete that this was made out of. And while we were doing the house pour, this little corner that you can kind of see is patched, had all crumbled away. Clay used a little bit of the extra concrete to fill that in. And in this corner, there's a vent that comes in, runs down to the floor, comes out right under that shelf, which is just a board on a concrete block, just so there's some air circulation underneath here. Put in some clean gravel on the floor once he was done digging things out. And in this corner there's a vent that flows out, so just a little air circulates. But it is currently, according to our gauge here, 53 degrees and 91% humidity. A little cooler would be ideal, but that's pretty good temperature and great humidity for storing things like potatoes. So we've got our harvest here. This is Kennebeck's Huckleberry Golds. They're gold on the inside, purple on the outside. Pontiac Reds, I think. And my very favorite in the back corner there is Yukon Golds. We've already eaten a good many potatoes this summer. The crate with the straw in it here has carrots, just layered into the straw. Multiple colors of carrots. They seem to be doing good. I've never had the ability to store them this way, so we'll see how well they keep. The potato crate on top of that, and these two are ones that had some kind of damage. Either we scratched them, we had some potato scab this year, you're more prone to getting it in alkaline soils, and we had a very dry year, and our soil and water is alkaline. This crate has beets, which are storing. I've got golden ones on top. There are candy striped and red ones under that. They like even higher humidity. That's why that cover's sitting on there. And we just had some charcoal buckets sitting in the corners down here for now. That won't be a permanent fixture to clean up any lingering smells there were. Cause what did it smell like when you were down in here cleaning it out?
A skunk. When it was open, the skunks would go by here and they would squirt as they went on by, and then the smell, whatever, is heavier than there evidently, and the skunk smell would go down in there.
Well, I think it was beyond that. Multiple skunks had fallen in and died over the years.
And,
so I think there was skunk carcasses in here.
Yeah.
So I'm not smelling skunk anymore, but it was stinky in here while he was cleaning this all out. Now it's nice and clean, but just to absorb any residual odors, that's why the buckets of charcoal are sitting there for now. So that is our cellar. The lid's pretty well insulated. You can kind of see how deep it is. It's got foam blocking insulating there.
Did you explain the vents?
I did. Okay. Got the vents and showed where you patch the old crumbly concrete in the front. And so this is our ancient well pit. As near as we can tell, it's been here maybe 100 years or something. We're not sure. We can't find anyone local in the area who even knows any history on this. And it is now our potato cellar. So we're very excited to see. I'm not at all concerned about how the potatoes will keep. I've never had beets and carrots to store like this before. So we'll see how that goes.
Thank you everyone for watching. It means a lot, and I hope you learned something along the way.
If you know somebody else who would enjoy this as well, share it with them.